Hi Capricorn, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. Hope you're well. I do want to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Capricorn out there. So guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Remember that the energies can reverse. So if this reading is resonating for you, be sure that you get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Capricorn? Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, you are starting out with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. You have the King of Swords, and you have the Two of Wands in the reverse. So you may have at some point chosen to go in another direction. I feel like you're going to get communication from somebody that you have unresolved business with. This could be somebody that you know from like a previous lifetime, or there's some sort of a soul tie with this person. But I definitely feel like there's a cycle here that is not quite closed out, at least not in your mind. And so I feel like some of you may be getting communication, or you want to communicate with somebody that you went in a different direction from. So let me look at their energy. Show me who's in Capricorn's energy. Show me who's in Capricorn's energy. Temptation. Now, temptation is the devil in this particular deck. Okay, so this person is contemplating reopening a door with you. You might be dealing with another Capricorn. We have the Princess of Wands. We have the Princess of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so I do feel like this is somebody you have not been in communication with. They're considering coming in and bringing communication. This could have been a on and off type of situation. This person could be somebody too that is a player. They want to talk to you though. They want to reopen that door. They are thinking about you. They're thinking a lot about you actually. And I feel like they are very drawn to you. So this would be somebody you feel like things are not completely over with. Show me the energy between Capricorn and this person. You may have had an argument with this person as well. This person may have been very harsh with their words before there was a lack of communication. Prince of Swords, there it is. And the Wise Old Man. Interesting. Now, the Wise Old Man is the Emperor in this deck. And so I feel like, you know, and it's in your energy here, Capricorn. So I feel like you've elevated your energy here. You've taken charge of your life. But there's this unfinished business regarding this person. Now, they could be somebody that's newer in your energy, but there's a soul tie or some kind of a history with this person, but it doesn't feel like it's a current history. It feels like it's something to do with like a metaphysical energy, like you've known them in other lifetimes, perhaps. Regardless, you have taken control of your life here. You're showing up here, Capricorn, in a very strong, high vibrational energy. You know, really in charge of your life. They're in their energy, they're showing the Prince of Swords. So this person could live at a distance from you. They're curious. They may have been checking up on you, possibly looking at your social media. You could also be somebody who is in a position of authority, or you could own your own business. So this person could be looking you up, trying to figure out, you know, should they open that door? Should they reach out to you? So, and I'm getting this feeling like this person might somehow live at a distance. Let me see what's affecting this connection. Now, they don't have to, but for somebody, I feel like that's true. Show me what's affecting this connection. Deception in the reverse. That's the Tower. So deception in this connection is the Tower. Somebody, either you or the other person, there was a lack of transparency. There was a, how do I word this? It caused a Tower moment. There was a Tower moment between the two of you, and it was because of a lack of transparency here. Things were not as they appeared to be, but either you or the other person was very, very much so convinced in what it was that you believed, but everybody around the two of you could see that it wasn't true. So there are other people who have observed what took place between you and this person, and it's kind of like they were saying, oh, this is not going to end well, but neither you or this person would listen. And part of it is because this person in your energy, they could definitely be younger than you. They're absolutely more immature than you are. So I feel like I feel like they're going to come in trying to rebuild things. But they do want to build it on truth. They do want to rebuild it on, a solid foundation, which is positive. I don't know how they're going to do that with this in and out energy. And I feel like it's just going to be like this communication almost feels like it gets dropped on you. Like, like you're not even expecting to hear from this person or see this person. And then all of a sudden, boom, there they are. And it's just like in your lap all of a sudden. Let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome for Capricorn. There could have absolutely been deception within the connection, and that may have been what caused this to not move forward or to end. See, that's the thing, is I'm not seeing an absolute ending here. I'm seeing that you were dealing with somebody that was newer and it never got off the ground, and it was because there was deception involved, or it was on and off. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Swords in the reverse. So there's that conflict that I saw. There was some sort of an argument with this person, and it caused you to move in a whole other direction. And I feel like you moved towards something that was more familiar to you, that felt more familiar, more like home. Five of Swords in the reverse tells me that if there were mind games and deception in the past, neither of you want that. You're speaking very, very clearly, very honestly. And this person that's in your energy, I feel like they're coming towards you honestly as well. But I definitely feel there was deception and dishonesty, perhaps even some mind games here in the past on either one or both sides. I can't tell. But I feel like this conflict is going to be resolved. So that's positive. Bottom of the deck is Entrapment in the reverse. Now that's the Hangman in this particular deck. So you may have had this feeling, Capricorn, that this person was going to come back towards you. And because I don't see you necessarily going towards them, you may have had this feeling that at some point this person was going to show up again, and now that wait is over. But I also feel like there's a sense here of you having some realizations about this connection. You've gotten very honest with yourself, and I feel like this person is kind of doing the same, but not at the deep level that you have. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse? Did you manifest this person? Because you're in a very high vibration, Capricorn. So whatever you're manifesting right now is going to come to you. Show me the Wheel of Fortune reverse. Oh, you were hurt. This hurt you. You felt betrayed. It was a pain. So there's the ending now that I'm seeing. So I feel like this was painful. You felt betrayed, and you're not quite over that betrayal, but you're still manifesting this person. But I'll tell you, beyond that, right now, Capricorn, you are manifesting everything it is that you want. And that's beautiful energy. I love that the Magician is coming to, overlapping with the Emperor here. That's very strong, very manifestational energy. So keep that up. That's really good. Just be careful that with regard to this connection, because I feel like you're manifesting them to come back in, you know, you're still carrying some of this feeling of betrayal and pain. So let me see the King of Swords. Show me the King of Swords. You might be dealing with a Scorpio or an Aries. All right, we have the Two of Wands in the upright, Three of Pentacles reversed, and the Devil. So, yeah, you took your power back here. You took your power back. You're making plans that are productive for you. Like I said, you could be in a position of authority or prominence here. And I feel like you realized that this connection wasn't built on stability. I'm definitely seeing that there is some sort of a soul contract that you have with this person, though. This is a soul type of energy. It's not, because physically on the 3D, they appear to be somebody newer in your energy that's very attracted to you, very tempted by your energy. But what I'm seeing in your energy is that there is some sort of a soul contract here, and you felt like this person didn't keep their end of the bargain, or perhaps you opted not to move towards this person because you felt that they were not, you know, in your best interest, at least at that time. You also are very drawn to them. There is this energy here where you're both very much tempted by the other person. There's an underlying kind of like attraction that you both have towards each other. But you're also saying, yeah, but I have to move in another direction because, you know, there's no stability in this. There's no way this is going to build anything solid for me because there was deception here in the past. You might be thinking that this is a toxic connection. So why is the Two of Wands in reverse? It could also be that this is a karmic connection, that you are, because there's soulmate energy here, but it could be karmic, a karmic soulmate. And that might be what you're identifying here. And karmics come in to teach us lessons, to teach us things. Okay, so we have the Strength card in reverse, and we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, so I feel like you're going to make a decision that you don't want to move towards this person, that there's not like a legitimate, you know, emotional attachment that you have towards this person. I feel like you may also feel that it's not a strong enough connection, although I would disagree with you on that. I also feel like there's a need for you to kind of work on yourself to see how you got involved in this connection to begin with. See, you're thinking this person is toxic, and maybe they are. We'll look at their energy in a minute. But I do feel like you're saying, no, this is not for me. But you're so tempted. And you have actually manifested their return. So let's look at their energy. Spirit, show me temptation. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups reversed. We have the Three of Swords reversed. And we have the Knight of Swords. And here they come. Here they come. Because they've been kind of spying on you. They've been looking at you, Capricorn. They've been trying to figure out how to approach you, how to talk to you. And I feel like what's going to happen is that they're going to, that desire to talk to you, that desire to reach out to you is only growing. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger in their mind. And they're going to open that door. They're opening the door to the past, basically. And I do feel like, you know, they are afraid that you will reject them, but they've been unhappy suppressing these feelings, suppressing the desire to talk to you. This has made them unhappy. So I do feel like they're going to come in and try to actually heal the situation. Now, what I do like is that they are coming in truthfully, which is positive. Let me see the Princess of Wands. Show me the Princess of Wands. This may have been an on and off situation between you and this person. I get the feeling that this is somebody who is like happy-go-lucky. They kind of come and they go. You know, they don't take things seriously. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Page of Cups in the reverse. So again, this is telling me that this was somebody newer in your energy as well as theirs. So, you know, and there was deception involved. It could have been third-party energy. I don't know if you were perhaps involved with someone else, or because I don't think they were. So this person, I do feel like, is steadily moving towards you. They're moving slow, but there's going to be that moment where that desire to talk to you overcomes them. I also feel like if you're expecting an apology, they're not giving an apology. I can tell you that. So be careful with that. They don't perceive that they've done anything wrong. And I feel like you might feel differently. Why is the Princess of Swords in reverse? Two of Cups reversed. King of Cups reversed. And the Page of Pentacles reversed. So you're turning down their offer. Yeah, I definitely see you turning them down. I definitely feel like they're going to realize pretty quickly that the two of you are not on the same page. I definitely see the ending that took place between the two of you, and it ended in conflict. Either you or the other person felt like there were, or maybe both of you felt like there were mind games that were being played. So this person actually does have some feelings towards you that they are, you know, holding back. So when they come towards you, I do feel like they're coming towards you more passionately, less with emotion and feelings. And that's because of the way things ended between the two of you. But I also feel like you're saying, no, this is not for me. So let me look at the energy between Capricorn and this person. Yeah, this is somebody I feel like is not, they're not very good about expressing their feelings. They're more intellectual, and they come across as being just somebody who comes and goes. They like the single life. They like to, they feel like emotions bogs them down. They feel like, and it's because they're uncomfortable with their own emotions. They're uncomfortable expressing them. Okay, so we have the Ten of Coins reversed. We have the World in reverse. Now, that was your first card out. And then we have Judgment in reverse. So there's all this feeling like the two of you are going to run into each other again. There's this unfinished business that is between the both of you. You both feel that. But I also feel like this person could be checking to see if you have ended something elsewhere. They miss you. They definitely do miss you, and they definitely are checking up on you. You're over here not wanting to make a bad judgment call, and if you feel this person is a karmic that you are just very powerfully drawn towards, there's like this electric, you know, sexual energy, if I'm being honest. Like there's flirtation, there's like an underlying charge that's in this connection. That's why neither of you feel that things are completely over. However, you also don't want to make a poor judgment call, and I feel like that's why you're saying, no, this person's not for me. They hurt me in the past. They betrayed me. This was a painful ending here. So while I might not be completely over it, and while I might have this temptation towards them, it doesn't mean I have to act on it. In their energy, I do feel like this is not somebody who thinks about things from a long-term perspective. They could be somebody who, what I'm seeing in their energy is there's somebody who doesn't feel well supported by close friends or family. They could be actually looking for that, looking to belong, because I feel like they have lived a life somewhat where they come and go and they don't make those emotional bonds very easily. So let me see. Show me what's affecting this connection. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. We have the Seven of Wands reverse and the Page of Wands reverse. So you're willing to end the conflict that's here. You don't like the way things ended. So you're willing to end that conflict. But at the same time, I also feel like you think this person's a bit toxic. And, you know, I would have to agree with you a little bit. They're going to see this as being bad news. Because, see, they're coming in trying to start something back up with you. They're coming in and they think that you're going to see this as best news ever, and you don't. So I feel like you have, since this has ended, you've moved in another direction. And I do feel like you feel there's no stability within this. It's almost like you knew at some point, Capricorn, that this person was going to crop back up into your energy, that they were going to return. And it might be because they've done this on more than one occasions. So will you end the conflict? Yes, you will. And do you want to end things on a positive note? Yes, you do. But you're also moving in a whole other direction. You've made plans elsewhere. Some of you are trying to grow something elsewhere. You haven't quite stabilized that yet, but that's the direction you're moving in. And I do feel like if you are trying to grow something elsewhere, you'll be honest with the person that you're trying to, you know, establish a foundation with, that this person has come back into your energy. Regardless, they're going to see this as bad news. It's going to kind of crush them a little bit, and they're going to withdraw their energy pretty quickly, because I feel like they're very sensitive to rejection. Let me see the outcome. But I do feel like it's going to clear the air from whatever happened between the two of you, which is positive. Uh-oh. Five of Swords, Justice in the reverse, and the Four of Coins reverse. Ouch. All right, so there is going to be an attempt to resolve the conflict. Maybe you're not ready to let that go. I feel like I feel like you feel this person is being disingenuous when they come in. So it's definitely unbalanced here. Yeah, it's definitely unbalanced. And you don't feel that this person treated you right, Capricorn. So you feel you're asking for karmic justice. You're willing to fight for that karmic justice, but you're not willing to take them back in. So I do feel like if they insist on trying to inject themselves into your energy, you're going to come at them pretty hard, because you're not having it. It's like you knew they were coming back at some point. So for some of you, this person, this isn't the first time they've done this. You know, it's like they come in, they say all the right things. They, you know, the two of you start to have, you know, a good feeling, and then they dip again. They take off. So it's definitely an unbalanced and unjust situation between the two of you, and you're moving in a whole other direction. And I feel like it's going to irritate the crap out of you that this person thinks that they can come back in whenever they want. So they're going to quickly realize, because you're going to fight for your own peace, for your own justice, and they're going to quickly realize that the two of you are not on the same page. Whatever they had planned, it took them a long time to get their behind in gear to come towards you. I feel like they're going to be like, oh, I should not have opened up to Capricorn, because now, you know, Capricorn is not only turning me down, but Capricorn is going to fight me. This is not happening. So I feel like they're going to feel pretty rejected. So you're dealing with a very immature person, though, Capricorn. They're gonna be release this. They're gonna let it go. But they're gonna also paint themselves as being the victim. So that's unfortunate. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands. That's underlying energy. That's in their energy. And it tells me that they're likely coming in with passion, but without the feelings, the emotions, because they're just uncomfortable with that. This is an area of their life that they need to work on. And I feel like you're going to tell them that too. It's like I'm saying, I feel like you felt that at some point this person would come back in with this energy of passion, no emotions, no stability, but they're going to come rushing in with their wand in hand, as it were, and you're like, oh, that's not happening. But it's like you knew it would eventually, they eventually would, and you're just going to shoot them down. Yeah, it's like you've been waiting for this to happen, and it's going to. And you're going to have some things to say. So, all right, I'm going to pull an oracle card. And I can understand where there would be a sense of satisfaction. If somebody has wronged you, there's a sense of satisfaction that then they come back into your energy and they want to be with you, and you now have the power and you say, oh no, that's not happening. Oh, look at that, number 13. And the card is rejection. So let's read that, because that's exactly what I see you doing. I see you rejecting this person, but not without cause. All right. Use rejection to grow, expand, and build yourself. Feeling rejected can disconnect you from your heart and soul and immobilize you. Rather than buying into rejection, focus on how you can grow, learn, and improve from your experiences. If you're a writer and you sent your articles or a book to a publisher and they've rejected it, then try to hone your writing skills and send your work out to several other publishers. Use that rejection as a motivating force to succeed. If a person that you have feelings for or felt a deep love towards has rejected you, then work on healing your heart and recognizing that there is someone out there who is more suited to you. Many people use rejection as an excuse to close down, become suspicious, guarded, and give up. Then they hurt and they reject. They hide behind rejection and never give themselves an opportunity to take a leap of faith and find their life calling and heal. By picking this card, you're being urged to hold yourself in a higher regard. Keep your heart open and trust that you have learned from your experiences and will not make the same mistakes again. And I see you doing that, Capricorn. I do see you doing that. But I also feel like, they rejected you in the past and now you're coming back in, and there is a certain sense of satisfaction that you may be feeling from now rejecting them. I would not get too tied into that, because that is a karmic cycle, which could be what I was identifying earlier. And you want to heal from this and move forward, Let this person deal with their own immaturity. All right, I hope that this has been helpful. If you have, resonated with this, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Capricorn, know that you are loved, and namaste.